And good morning, kids of all ages, friends, relatives, neighbors, people of Earth. That's us. Today marks the day that Cheech and Chong is now the state spokesman. What do you mean by that, man?
Yep.
That's it.
And the state now is going to have grass cars.
That's right. We don't have to go to Massachusetts anymore. They say we, the peoples of Connecticut, can now do that here in our own home state. Just look at the fog.
Yeah. Next week.
It smells like somebody had a skunk over here, man.
July 1, right?
Yeah, July 1st. July 1st is the day.
July 1st is the date, but you really can't. There's still some rules in effect till July 22, though, right? Something we don't know about.
Do you really think that, there's going to be a state police officer that's going to pull someone over?
No.
They're going to be sitting there in their car going, hey, man.
No, I mean, they could, because they're going to come up with some way you could still be driving under the influence.
Will police officers have to wear masks in fear of getting a contact high? Like in the Cheech and Chong movie. Hey, man.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the wasp of smoke comes out, and the police officer goes, I don't even know why I pulled you over.
But
is that a chili dog? Can I have a bite of that?
But the other thing they think the state did is they changed some of the rules on smoking. I think they became a little more strict on smoking rules.
No, you're talking about
you're talking about cigarettes or
marijuana?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Oh, really?
And I think the marijuana is going to apply. The smoking they're going to have the same rules.
Oh, probably.
Such as?
What the hell my wife was telling me some of them. What the hell was it? Can't smoke in certain places anymore.
You can't smoke anywhere.
I know, but she was telling me
a new law: you cannot smoke in your own home.
They did something with the smoking thing as well. far as I heard.
You cannot smoke on your own back patio.
That's why Philip Morris is coming here.
Coming where?
State of Connecticut, moving the headquarters down to Westport. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Out of Virginia?
I think they're in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're moving the headquarters from New York to Westport.
New York
Philip
to Westport,
Morris.
huh?
Yeah.
I did.
Philip Morris.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
I didn't know it at all.
Yeah, the little, the little kid. Remember the little kid that used to be dressed up in his little uniform? Used to sing Philip Morris.
No,
You remember that?
No, I don't.
I don't remember a little boy in his uniform, Paul. No, I don't.
No,
figured you would. Yeah, he was dressed up with a little suit on, a little cap on. He just, he'd yell out Philip Morris.
Sure, you did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when we bought cigarettes.
Sounds like Pizzagate to me.
25 cents a pack.
I don't want you ever to talk about a little boy in a uniform again.
Well, that was many years
Let's
ago.
just talk about Tattoo. It's from Fantasy Island. That's different.
No.
How do you even remember Tattoo? How do you even know Tattoo?
The plane, boss. The plane.
Right.
It's
but
back
you're-
again,
Fantasy
though.
Island.
Yeah.
What?
Fantasy Island's back on again.
It's a new one. Yeah.
As I say, I love Fantasy Island.
Yeah,
Classic
it's back.
Fantasy Island.
I know I haven't seen it.
That's
But
true.
I heard it's coming
And
back.
MASH and Little
Yeah.
House on the Prairie.
Well,
Little House is coming back too.
No. I'm just saying I love
Oh.
Little
Well,
House and
you notice how
MASH.
Hollywood now they're coming back with all the old shows.
Running out of ideas.
A lot of the old shows are coming back on again.
Yeah.
Because they knew they were a success compared to the garbage that goes out there today.
Oh well, yeah.
So let's. I want to ask anybody that is watching here on the stream this morning. How do you feel about the state of Connecticut and their legalization of recreational marijuana? And the funny thing is, no one will ask. No one will say anything.
Yeah.
They won't say anything.
I mean,
That's true. We had.
I want to hear. I really want to hear people's opinions on
On the
this.
day that it was signed in the legislature, we had, I can't remember her name and I apologize, but we had her talking. She was asking questions and answered your question for you and talking to her. I remember.
So, what is your opinion on recreational marijuana? That's what I would like to know.
I get it. Me, Paul, and Mike aren't real, but we're still sitting in these chairs.
Paul, did you see that video Austin did?
yeah, I saw it.
We're all just green
I
screens.
feel kind of green.
Jolly green giant over here.
Yeah.
That's all of us. We're all tall. All tall
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
People walk in here and they think they walk into the forest.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are these trees?
I think there's going to be a lot of information still has to come out regarding the smoking of marijuana and where you can smoke it and
Oh well, yeah,
where
of
you can't
course.
smoke it, and
Mhm.
where you
Where you can buy it, where you can find it, this and that and that. And
Let me get a
this.
cash 5. Let me get $2 $3 scratch offs, and let me get some of that cool bud right there.
Let me get some of that purple haze.
Yeah. Well, there's no dispensaries yet in this state. I don't even know where they're gonna who's gonna be able to buy it and sell it. There may be one
don't know.
downtown for all we know.
I'll tell you right now, Mike, if I ever in years down the road, like 10 whatever, if I ever bought weed, I would not buy it from a gas station. You're gonna come into work looking like Sid the Sloth. You'd be eyes gonna be far apart and drooping. Man, this gas station weed hitting weed, man.
What do you want to talk about today? Hayden says it's legal in Illinois.
Yeah.
So we're the 19th state to legalize recreational cannabis.
Oh, with 19, because I thought it was I thought we were like 17, but I know last I heard it was 16.
So yeah, I think we're 19. I
Oh.
think that's what, because I watched the press conference
you did.
yesterday. Yeah. Joanne says, good morning. I hate it. Now the kids will grow up thinking it's okay to do drugs, and pot is a drug. I find it offensive and I don't want it near me.
Well, I think everybody.
You smoke cigarettes? and
I
drink?
think everybody thinks that under the impression that when you got marijuana, you're smoking it. That's not true in all cases. There's
Right.
a lot of products out there made from marijuana. I mean, there's soft drinks not soft drinks, but there's actually drinks that have marijuana in them.
Yeah,
There's candies, there's cookies, there's all kinds of stuff.
all the edibles.
Mountain Dew, new Mountain Marijuana Blast.
I mean, there's a concern where kids could pick it up.
Yeah,
That's,
and there's cannabis oil. There's there's cannabis oil that a lot of people use. I mean, there's plenty of videos
But I think
out there.
you need that, with a prescription and only from a dispensary, correct?
Yeah.
But now
they see. I think a lot of the medical marijuana cars. I mean, a lot of those are kind of like, how the hell did they even get them? Oh, my leg hurts.
I got leprosy. Give me my card.
I don't think leprosy is gonna.
No, I'm just saying people are just pulling stuff out of their butts and to get their card.
Yeah.
Well, that's possible, but the thing is where is it going to become available? Is it something that you're going to be able to get at other places other than a dispensary?
I don't know.
They might have authorized dealers somewhere, like the smoke shop, the cigarette shop downtown.
They possibly
do it out of there.
They possibly could do that, I guess.
Maybe.
But there's some pretty strict rules that they have to follow. I was listening to a TV show. If somebody comes in to their shop and they look like they're half stoned already, they won't. They don't have to sell it to them. Matter of fact, they shouldn't be selling it to them.
Right.
Because they're under rules just like anybody with a package store.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Hayden says it makes it more accessible to people who can really benefit from its products. Plus, that it won't be laced with any other drug.
That's a good point.
I think that is a very important point right there, especially with the fact that a lot of people have had trouble and have gone to the hospital with fentanyl laced marijuana.
I was just about to say fentanyl.
That is true.
And this is the good way to keep it. It pulls it off the street. It regulates it. It helps people, not die from their I just want to smoke some weed, take the edge off a little bit from a stressful week, and then next thing you know, they're dead of a fentanyl overdose.
Wendy says Wendy Gauthier says should only be sold at package stores to control it more.
Yeah.
Joanne chimes in once again. Kids like candy and cookies, and kids have gotten into their parents' stuff.
Yeah, that's not the weed's fault. That's the parents' fault.
I agree.
Yeah,
I get it that it's if the weed wasn't there in the first place, the kids wouldn't have gotten to it. But if the parents are that irresponsible, well, then that's their fault.
Well, how many times have you heard stories of kids getting into mom's liquor cabinet?
Yeah,
few.
It's kind of it's the same thing. This is just a newer version of that.
Yeah, right.
I think it does start at home. I think it starts with parenting, and the other thing is I don't think it's going to create more smokers.
No,
I don't think this law is going to create. This is just my own personal opinion. Yeah. I don't think it's going to create people all of a sudden, hey, it's legal now. Now I can smoke pot wherever I want. I don't think so.
No. See, that's where people are wrong, because I think people are going to be using it as a product, not smoking it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are going to buy the gummy bears, and they're going to buy the soft drinks I don't know what they call them.
Right, but those are only available where? At a dispensary, right? That's not any different than passing this law.
Right.
I mean, this law doesn't change that. It just means it's legal to smoke recreational marijuana. So,
correct.
Paul, if you have, I mean, you have, let's say you have 6 grandkids, right?
Yeah.
And they all come to your house, and, Gramps got, brownies and gummies hiding somewhere. Well, where did you get them? You didn't get them off the street. So it's not any more accessible to a kid. Right? So you have to have them locked up or hidden or something.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Exactly.
It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Now, Heather Summers, our senator in the 18th district here in Connecticut, came on this show, and she said that she was going to vote no on this legislation. And the reason why I'm saying it now is because really it's to exactly what we're talking about at this point. She says there's no protection in this bill for kids.
Right.
And she's also right, because there really isn't a lot of protection.
There isn't. No.
So we hope to have Senator Summers on once again to she's always been a friend of the station and has always been very, very good about being able to get, good information out to folks.
Right.
So I think it becomes like we definitely need, you definitely need to protect the kids, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think it's no matter what legislation you put into place, it doesn't matter. It's all words in the paper, and it's all words that somebody spoke in an office building 60 miles away from you. That it doesn't matter. It's just like when they upped the smoking age from 18 to 21.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you stopped all the 18-year-olds buying for the 17-year-olds. Now you open
They
up the
didn't.
market for the 21-year-olds
They
buying.
didn't stop anything.
Oh no, I know. It just closed one market, opened a brand new one up.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say nothing's changed.
So you know what I like about this dynamic right here is we have three generations. Speaking. You have me, of course. Mid generation. Because we're cool. You got Austin, the younger generation, and you got the Geritol posse and Paul West. So there you go. D says if it's like other states, it will be sold in licensed dispensaries, like it is now.
Yep.
Right now, any kid can go down the street and get a bag of weed. Question is it really marijuana?
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then that's part of the problem.
Paying $40 for an ounce of oregano,
laced with something deadly.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And that has gotten into our society and into our area.
Yeah.
In Eastern Connecticut.
Yeah,
and people have suffered from the effects of that.
Yeah. Sure. It's bad.
So
it's awful.
Which helped the legalization.
Yeah.
That's a different story altogether. But Daryl from the Healthy Computer, also the healthy weed guy. Does the bill limit where you can smoke?
I would imagine it would limit it just like cigarettes.
Well, I think you have to follow the smoking rules.
Yeah,
probably.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So I don't think you can walk down the street smoking a doob.
Well,
or can you?
Unless they put it into legislation, like saying you can't, then you can.
But it's just I kind of wonder if you cannot because there are these things called contact highs. So if you're around younger kids or something like that, because you're walking around town, and it's very easy to, to maybe entice a child. So I don't think you can do it in public.
You can't walk down the street with an open beer in your hand.
That's true. So
that is true.
It's probably going to follow a lot of that. And I know they frown on people like walking down the sidewalk and like here walking down the sidewalk smoking a cigarette. So.
D just said it. Well, can you walk down the street drinking legally? See?
Yeah.
There you go.
So there you go.
Here's the difference is if you're going down the street and you're eating a brownie, who the hell knows the difference? Or if you got gummy bears in your pocket, how the hell are they going to? I mean, they're in your mouth. How are they going to know? So that's the difference. That's the difference between the alcohol products and the marijuana products. You can see when somebody's got something.
Right, but it hasn't changed. They're doing, that's possibly today
too. They're doing it now, but I don't know. It's going to be.
You don't know if somebody's walking downtown, and got a package of gummies, or in their pocket.
You don't know.
You do not know that.
Right.
You're not going to know that after July 1st either. It's not going to be any different.
Oh yeah.
They don't know.
It's not like they're legalizing hits of ecstasy. They're gonna be rolling down the street.
If you come in some more and there's some brownies here, I don't think you better eat them.
Hayden says when the dispensary opens, it's hours wait long and you're limited in how much you can get. Plus, it's very pricey. They ID you when you first walk in, then a bouncer lets you into the back, then more ID.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've never been into a dispensary.
And you walk out with a little white bag.
See, now you have been, Paul. You have been.
Yeah.
So, and I have not.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is like. I don't know.
Yeah, you need ID to get it. Absolutely.
See, now I can tell you this: is my mother was the biggest stoner I ever knew.
Yeah,
she was.
That was different back then.
It was different back then. Yeah, it's completely different.
It was like, during the 60s and 70s when everybody was smoking pot. I mean, come on.
And my mother was very, very straight up. Very, very straight up about it. She would come home and I was afraid of it. I was deathly afraid of this stuff, and I would be like 13, 14 years old and be like, my mother's a drug addict, and I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And you know how I stopped thinking that way? She made me smoke it with her.
There you go.
It really didn't. Well, actually, it made me sleep for 14 hours and think I was jumping around in the video game Cubert. But and after that, no, I was okay. So
based on that experience, you better stay away from it.
yeah. But see, now that's my point. Will I start smoking this now that it has become legal? Probably not.
You don't know that because if you're in pain, if you know, who knows from now, 5 years from now.
You know what? Guess what? Other stuff's been legal too. Like
Yeah.
I can overdo it on Motrin if I want to, but I
could.
don't. It's the same thing. I don't think it. It changes who you are. And all of a sudden, I think
that's what people forget, though. People forget that other things, other substances like this are legal. Like you can,
Right.
you're 30 years old. You can
Okay.
walk into the package store, buy a 40, and go sit down and drink it. Well, what is that going to do? You're going to get drunk. Okay, congratulations. You smoke a doob, you get high. Where I don't get it. All of a sudden, it's from way back from Paul's time. All this.
Mic check.
Paul, when were you born?
Long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
73 BC.
Exactly. He was one of the three wise men.
He was at the first supper and the last supper.
Uh-oh. And I mean, it's just they started all these smear campaigns and marijuana is the devil's drug, and it's like, really? I don't know, man.
Laura says to each their own. Legalizing marijuana is no different than alcohol and cigarettes.
Exactly.
And Dee chimes back in and said, I would like to know more where the tax money will be used. Drug treatment, perhaps, maybe?
Like they'll spend it someplace else.
Yeah, the roads.
Gilded toilet seat.
Yeah. I mean, the state of Connecticut will take that money and spend it some other place.
Linda says, hey, Laura, what if a teen is younger and a doctor prescribes it? Will they have to carry a note from the doctor? Well, I don't know. Do we have to? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is going to change anything. I think I really honestly don't.
Yeah, no, I was going to say.
Personally.
If a kid younger than me, if a 14-year-old needs medical marijuana, they get a prescription from a doctor and go to a medical dispensary. They don't just walk into one that just sells it to the public. They go to a specific medical dispensary and they fill their prescription.
Well, it's a good possibility that the dispensaries that we have today for medical marijuana may become the recreational dispensaries at the same time.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to change. I think you'll see more dispensaries. I think you'll see more dispensary licenses become available. And I think they even said something they want to make it available more to more minority business owners. Oh, white people. So because we're the minority. Sorry. Hayden says, Mike, come on down to Chicago. We can smoke and eat gummies together.
Hey,
there you go.
You like going to Blockbuster. Like the popcorn, some of them gummies right there. And I'm going to rent. You guys got that back room?
So these are edibles. And yeah, you're right. They're edibles. I'm going to be eating them.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to eat them and watch Bill and Ted's Epic Adventure.
I bet you can't just eat one.
But, I also invited Miranda Mahoney in from Grizzled Pride because Grizzled Pride has a stance. CIRAC has a stance on all of this. And just like anybody else. And we want to make sure that they get heard as well. Yeah. So I don't think, my personal opinion, in this, like in this forum, it doesn't mean squat, whatsoever. And I don't really like saying it because I don't want to feel like I'm swaying anybody either way.
Well, I'm sure based on what she does, she's not going to be for it.
Who, Miranda?
Yeah.
I believe that Grizzled Pride stances, they are not for this. That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it kind of defeats what they've been preaching right along.
But you know what? This has got nothing to do. I don't. Well, I'm going to ask you. Do you think this has anything to do really with the properties of marijuana itself as it is more so just it's another way to tax you.
It's another way for money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I believe that this really
I
is.
believe that's why they're doing it, because a lot of surrounding states are
They want
collecting.
theirs too.
They're collecting big money. So rather than have the people of Connecticut go across the border to get it, they give that state the money.
Yeah.
They want the money here. And
Here-
that's what it comes down to.
Here's a good point right here. Laura says, "How are they going to enforce driving under the influence of marijuana if there isn't even a test for it?"
I don't think there is.
And they can't.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't think there's a test for it.
Well, you can
I
you
think-
can definitely tell, you can smell it, and you can see people's eyes.
I kind of wonder if they're just going to go ahead and do the regular road test, because if you notice, it's not drunk driving anymore.
So there's
It's
influence.
it's driving under the influence
Or
of
drugs,
alcohol and or drugs.
Yeah.
So if you do a road test and they I don't even know what they are. Touch your nose or
Yeah, touch your finger to your nose, walk a straight line.
Oh, yeah.
I
say the
can't walk a
alphabet.
straight line sober.
He knows that pretty good, don't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been,
How was the test?
yeah, it's pretty good. I passed. I didn't even study.
I really can't. I can't really. If you said to me walk a straight line, I
Well-
can't do that sober. Never
can't
mind
'cause of my
drunk.
knees.
Well, some people's are equilibrium.
Equilibrium,
is
yeah.
off, and you can't balance that very well,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
especially in people as they get aged. That's what happens. They don't have the balance.
So you almost fell this
Right,
morning,
right.
Paul.
Wow.
Uh,
The respect.
Yeah.
The respect is amazing.
Oh, I respect Paul.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I
there's
field,
a lot
field
of
sobriety tests.
there's a lot of unanswered. This is typical of politicians. They look at it. They look at it in a one straight line. They're not looking the broad. They're looking at right
Yeah.
straight ahead of them, not realizing the impacts of what's going to happen when they bring this thing in. There's so many unanswered questions that people have now related to this. How are they going to do this? How are they going to do that? And all they were looking at was the freaking money.
Okay, so let's take the morality out of it. All right, let's say that it's just another thing, that there's really no discussion about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the legalization of online gambling.
There's another one. There's another thing.
So these are two big things that have changed really in the state of Connecticut
Yes.
in the last year. Last year during the pandemic, there was nothing but the only thing legal was stay in your damn house. Everything else was you could get fined or whatever. Now those are changed. Now it's like, all right, you can you can smoke pot now, and you can also gamble online.
Yeah. And when we think of gambling online, we're not just talking betting on horse races and ball games, and
No,
there's slot machines and things
Virtual
like
poker.
that. You can play that stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that's going to open up the door where it's going to be very easy for people to go out and put a credit card online and start spending money like crazy to play these games.
yeah,
A lot easier if you would actually sit there.
but it goes deeper than that.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
definitely
It goes
Pandora's
deeper than
box.
that.
I'll tell you that much.
There's
Online
an
gambling.
there's an app out there called something Bingo. All right, and if you scroll for a while, if you scroll through Facebook and everything, you'd see this ad.
Yeah.
It says you can win real money, win real money, win real money. So I downloaded the app just to see what it was like, right? And it says, well, you cannot, you can bet in the game, but like tickets, kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing, and you play a bingo game or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can't bet real money in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That's going to change. So it's not just online slot machines. It's not just this. It's these bingo games
Yeah.
that you'll be able to ante in
Yeah.
and go ahead and play.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, that's another thing that's going on. If you're sitting at a slot and you got 20 or 30 bucks in your pocket, you put it in there, you spend it, you go home. But when you got a credit card that you got in there, man, goodbye.
Joanne says it's exactly about the money. It will not benefit the people of Connecticut. Taxes will still continue to go up.
Absolutely.
It would be nice if some of the money from this went to benefit the people of Connecticut.
That ain't going to happen.
Well, I can tell you
Sorry.
this: the mill rate in Griswold's going down.
It went down. A little
It
bit.
went down a little bit.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with more tax-paying businesses that come to Griswold?
See, that just goes to show the reason why we need to do this. Why, why we need to bring in this development that we're talking about and what it can do for the tax base. If anything, it'll
Mhm.
keep it steady. It won't be going up every
Right.
freaking 6 months or a year like we do it now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, but a lot of people don't see that.
So, but people aren't going to see it until next year's tax roll. It's not right now. It's when the
Well,
tax
the
roll goes out.
revaluation that was done, you'll see
Mhm.
that in next year's tax roll. That wasn't in this year.
So then, then let's introduce the data centers once again, which are coming. They're going to be here.
They're going to be here.
They're
We probably
gonna
won't
be
see
here.
it next year for anything, really,
No.
other than permits.
Right.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Which will go on the tax roll tool
Yeah, but
The year after.
next budget.
$5 million in permits.
That's a lot of money.
That's not a drop in a bucket. That's some substantial money.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked Mr. Babbitt,
Yeah.
and I did not get an answer because I don't think it was kind of unfair because that I asked him on the spot at town hall about 9:00 at night. And I asked him, I said, so with all of this influx of income that's coming, that can and will come in from these data centers here in Griswold,
Yeah.
will we be now getting a Griswold Police Department?
Oh.
And he just kind of shrugged his shoulders. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no. I mean, I didn't really expect an answer from Todd, to be
Well,
honest with you.
yeah.
I really didn't, because I kind of caught him off guard.
I mean,
This was during the referendum vote.
yeah. I mean, it's probably a good idea, but keep in mind that a lot of police forces today, a lot of them are going through some real bad, some bad situation where a lot of people just don't want to be a cop anymore. They're leaving.
Right.
So as far as this is probably not a good time for Griswold Police Department.
Why not?
Well, because everybody's complaining about defunding these police departments. And unfortunately, like I told you, the pendulum is way over to the left, where unfortunately the police are the bad guys.
Well, the borough is paying for 2 resident state troopers.
I know. Yeah. But does that mean maybe we pay for some? Maybe there's a Griswold state trooper. I don't know. But as far as an individual man walking the beat and speaks like that, I don't think that's going to happen. Personally,
No.
I just think it's just right now. It's not the time.
Gotcha.
Gonna be a cop on a bike.
In
the
the summertime,
basket.
you'll see that here.
Yeah.
In the summertime, you will see that here.
All right, Paul. That's your second traffic violation. Get in the basket.
So the big question is what is your opinion on recreational marijuana? What about it becoming legal in the state of Connecticut? Governor Ned Lamont has signed it into law as of yesterday. There was a big press conference about it. We shared the press conference in the SNSN news page, so you can watch it, and you can, whatever, make up your own mind on how you feel about it. There are many contrasting views from different parts of society. Is everybody right? Is everybody wrong? No, everybody has good points. And they should be heard. That's why I wanted to start this forum this morning on this subject. So, and we're getting views, from different parts of the country, like Hayden is in Chicago, and what the heck? That wasn't my phone.
That's my watch.
Oh, all right. We're getting views from out there. Obviously, Hayden is a stoner. Yeah. She's got the Players Club card at the local dispensary. It'd be like the fast pass at Disney World, Excuse me. Yes, come right to the front of the line, please. Joanne says we need a police department. Do we need a police department even more than ever now with the legalization of marijuana? Is that an issue? It's just a question. Let's toss it out there.
Well, everybody's going to complain about cops pulling you over.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen.
They're not pulling you over now.
I know.
They're not pulling you over now.
I know.
And they're going to pull you over less now.
I think a lot of cops who went on to have a career path in law enforcement are leaving.
Yeah.
They're seeking employment elsewhere. I mean,
Perhaps, yeah.
I wouldn't want to take the grief that the cops have to take. I mean, we don't see a
No.
lot of it around here because we're a very small community. But you went to the bigger cities,
Mhm.
I'm sure they're getting all kinds of abuse.
Oh,
But
sure,
but
yeah.
yet, when somebody gets beat up or somebody gets robbed and somebody gets shot, they want them there. So unfortunately, you can't have your cake and eat it too. But unfortunately, that's what I mean. Look, in Portland, they lost over 50 cops from their riot squad. They all quit.
Mm-hmm.
New York City let all the looters let them go. They looted New York City. Look what they did. They let them all go. No problem.
Yep.
So, lock them up and let them out. What's the difference? Why lock them up then? So,
I think everybody gets let out if they're in. Isn't that part of this? If you're locked up with marijuana usage or something like that, don't you get?
well, that's
You're getting expunged, and
like non-violent marijuana crimes.
That's you're right. That's different. You're right. They would let them go, right? Because it's no more a felony or anything anymore, misdemeanor, whatever the hell they call it.
I mean, I think that's fair, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if it's a non-violent, like you were carrying over the legal limit of weed, and then they like haul you away to jail, you get put in jail for 6 months next to a murderer. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, why are you there?
yeah.
Like, I don't know. People get treated like career criminals for the dumbest things.
Do you think that the crowd, the medical or the legalization of marijuana has a lot to do with, or maybe has something to do with the overcrowding of the jails?
Probably.
And now all of a sudden we're gonna let them out because it's been declassified as
I don't know.
as an illegal drug.
Yeah.
I don't know how much marijuana arrests were really done because you really got to have a lot. You got to have a couple pounds on you. I mean, they're not really putting you in jail for small bag full of it for crying out loud. But I think some of the drug stuff is really the hard stuff that they're putting you in jail for.
Yeah.
The sellers.
But it could be
the
like
sellers of the hard
offenders.
drugs.
Like if you got caught with like a little over the legal limit here, over the legal limit here, you're on probation now, a little over the legal limit here. Now you got caught again, now you're in jail for violating probation.
Yeah.
So I mean it could just be stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying like, Pablo Escobar came over with 300,000 bricks of marijuana and he's in jail now. I'm not saying that.
Yo, man, we got the street sale going on. Oh my god, that was so inappropriate.
But it's still not against the law, federal law. Federally, it's against the law. It's not legal in the United States.
Right.
So
what's a state by state basis?
Yeah, but all the states are getting connected.
But
there's a clear shot to Florida now.
Well,
yeah,
that's where people are going to have to be careful because just because it's legal in Connecticut, if you go to Maine, maybe it's not legal in Maine. I mean, I don't know if it is or not, but
no, I'm pretty sure it is.
Now you're going to go across the border.
Yeah.
Go into Canada with marijuana in your pocket and see what happens to you.
But do you think this is going to create people that will smoke more? No, I don't.
I don't think so.
I don't think it'll.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think it might open up a venue for someone because they're like, I've wanted to try this for like, they're legal age. They're an adult, and they're like, I've wanted to try this for a while. So they buy it legally. It's controlled. They try it and they go from there. But I don't think it's going to create this massive like these people are thinking.
But where are you going to buy it?
From the dispensary.
But what if you can't get into the dispensary?
There's a lot of people buying it today. They're buying it in other states and bringing it over.
Yeah.
I
don't think I agree with you. I don't think it's going to create this massive influx of new people.
I don't think so either.
No.
Because it's the people who are already smoking it who have to illegally bring it across a state line from someplace. Now they're just going to be able to buy it local.
Joanne says I've been pulled over several times for speeding. I look at it as they probably saved me from an accident. I haven't been pulled over in quite some time, and I still speed from time to time, but now I do it while stoned. No, she didn't say that. She just says she hasn't done any speeding from time to time.
No. Just
I don't know.
Just don't speed in the borough.
So let me ask you, the people that are on the stream, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, do you smoke marijuana? Do you do it? I mean, I could care less if you do, you don't. That's your thing. But do you smoke marijuana? And is this something that makes you happy or you're pleased that this got passed? Because what I'm finding is a lot of people have opinions, but nobody in there is saying, yeah, I smoke it, I do this, I do that. Well, it's legal now, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You know,
Yeah.
I do not. I'm one of the paranoid ones. I mean, this would probably make me less paranoid, but I don't take pills.
Yeah.
I don't take I hardly take ibuprofen or Tylenol or whatever it is. I don't even know which one's Tylenol and which one's not, or Motrin or what the difference is. I don't even know. Cuz I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't spend any time, don't care about it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything. That's my own personal preference.
Yeah.
But like for example, Austin Smith, do you smoke marijuana?
Nope.
Okay. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I knew the answer anyway. Paul, yeah, never mind.
Years ago,
Sure.
I tried it just like everybody else did.
So did Al Gore, but
Didn't do anything for me
see
either.
how Gore can come out and say now, I really like that shit.
No, I mean, because unfortunately, I was drunk. So what the hell difference does that make?
Gotcha.
That's what happens.
This was last week, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, when I was younger, way back in the day, last week.
See, now I asked the question and not one comment because I think people are still concerned.
Yeah.
And you know why? Of what? Of what society will think. So it's legal, but is it legal in the aspect of is it socially acceptable?
Eventually,
What are people
it
going
will be.
to think?
It will be.
Yeah,
it will be.
And it's always the strangest to me because the people that grew up with hippie culture and grew up through those times and everything and saw the changing of the nation and things like that are some of the most hard-headed hard asses about this kind of stuff nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It's so odd to me.
I don't know. When I had gone down to the dispensary for the medical stuff, because somebody I know has a medical card, and there were some people there that were during those times, and they were true hippies, and man, they were happy, man. They were glad they were getting it. So,
oh yeah,
once a hippie's always.
And today's is a lot different than then's.
Yeah,
that's a lot different.
Yeah. No, and I don't care if anybody does. Like I said, my mother was the biggest pothead I knew.
All right.
So
yeah,
whatever.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot.
But see, I grew up with that, intertwined in our family fabric.
Yeah.
But not everybody will.
Yeah.
Let's see. D says I was a stoner back in the day, but I haven't smoked much in the last 10 years. D, you probably smoked with my mom. My opinion is it is too strong these days. I long for the days of the mellow brown weed.
Well, they got all these different names of,
all these different.
I do have to put this out there. All right. DA I've known since we were kids.
Yeah.
And he would come over to the house, and my mother loved him. My mother loved him. And she would say, he's such a nice boy. why don't you hang around with him more? And it wasn't. It was just, we just hung out in different groups, you know, and stuff. But we were always friends. So yeah. He goes, never smoked with your mom, but sure do remember the smell of it in your house. Nice. Oh, I love you, brother. Joanne again says, someone gave me a cookie from the dispensary, and I did not feel anything for about a half an hour. All of a sudden, I got real dizzy and paranoid. I huddled by my dryer, and I thought my husband hired someone to kill me. I was like this for about 3 hours.
Really?
Oh yeah, edibles are a lot stronger than the stuff you smoke.
Huh?
Because it's all baked in there.
Yeah.
It's a lot more condensed. It's a lot stronger. It's got a lot more THC.
I've never eaten an edible.
Neither have I. But you don't need to eat it to do research.
Well, by right, you can't anyway because you're not 21.
Oh, well, no, of course not.
Yeah.
But did that stop the people my sophomore year? I don't know who it was, but I walked into the bathroom, played for high school. I walked into the bathroom, and of course somebody had reported that because I heard the sirens pulling up to the school. This is my sophomore year, so it's like 2015. I walk into the sophomore bathroom. All I can smell is weed. Then someone passed me. I hear clinking like glass in their backpack. I'm like, hey, wait a second. I'm like, what just happened here? I'm like, hold on, something ain't right. And I mean, you could smell it, like it. You could smell it all throughout like sophomore hall. And I'm like, why would you do this?
Well,
like, if you're gonna do this at your house. Do this in the forest. Do it
well,
somewhere
that's
that's
the way it
not
was.
here.
I mean, that's the way high school kids have been.
God, this smells like Paul Lash's porch.
I mean,
Kitty Harbor.
Paul's Pot Farm, Hill Street, Jewett City. Come on down to the greenhouse. We now have the new brown mellow stuff.
Yeah. Would you like indica or sativa? We have a hybrid strain. Oh God, Paul.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, you know who's got a pot farm is the guys, the Blues Brothers,
Dan Aykroyd?
and his partner, the other one.
Well, it's not John Belushi because he's dead.
No, it's Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi's brother. Yeah.
He sells it, and they actually had a show on him raising his marijuana and how he had gone over to Mexico or Colombia or something to get this special type of seeds so he could grow the special.
How do you think Willie Nelson feels right about now with all this stuff? Yeah. Well, the girls I've loved before.
He's probably.
We
happy.
smoked the weed and fell on the floor.
He doesn't need that whiskey river anymore.
When they came along, they smoked some of my bong. All the girls I've smoked before. All right. Sorry.
It's a new world. It's going to be interesting to see what the rules are going to be. I mean, we'll find out. Even the other night at the health and safety thing, we spoke a little about it. You know, because what's the town going to do? You know, how you going to be able to smoke around the town hall? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Joanne goes, there's a warning on the package. This is going back to her eating the cookie, the entire cookie. There's a warning on the package. Do not eat whole cookie.
Yeah, no.
If you have not previously used the product.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder.
Because it's probably like a 35 milligram cookie. That's a lot. That's a lot going in there.
Imagine that. I can see it in 10 years from now. Hi, we're the Keebler Elves, and now we have new cannabis chocolate chip.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Can you imagine? Lay's will come out with a new chip called Marijuana Tasters or something.
Lay's potato chip, the new one. It's called Get Laid.
No, that's the blue chip.
Hey, there's a lot of code these days. I'm not kidding you. I mean, here's something, and I couldn't even figure this out. I didn't even know what it meant, and I had to ask a younger person to get the definition of this. But I'm scrolling through TikTok, and Paul, you may have seen it too, because I know you scroll through, and just watch some of the stuff. And you have these people that think they act like reporters and they're just like stopping like man on the street, woman on the street, asking questions kind of thing. And you get this, and I've seen this from a lot. And you get a guy who's asking usually younger women, and he's a younger guy himself, going, "Hey, can I be your step bro?" See, I didn't know what it meant. You know,
He knows what it is.
Yeah, I know what it means.
yeah. And then it's like then you have some girls that'll go literally they go yeah, and then they'll go no, I mean can I be your step bro? And I'm like I don't get it. I don't get it. But you know, like you know, and then some girls will be like, "What are you talking about?" They'll be like, "Hey, step bro," you know, or Austin. Now I know what it means. I do now. Something even about a washing machine or a dryer, which I do not get. I don't get that part. So maybe I'm.
I can't say it on air. I can't say it on air. The FCC will be on my ass.
Really?
I can't say it on air.
All right, I'll see if I can dance around this. There are, I guess, porn videos.
Okay, well then he just okay.
Well, but porn's legal.
Yes, it is.
All right, so
As long as you're 18 and over.
right. Apparently, there are some porn videos, which I think is this. I don't know, where it depicts stepbrother and stepsister.
So not blood related, Paul.
Ah,
You know, hey step bro, hey step sis,
gotcha.
I'm stuck in
You
the
know.
washing machine, step bro. Can you help me out?
which I don't even understand that part.
If it's a top loading washing machine,
Oh, gotcha. Never mind. Yep. But that's
I got
that's the thing.
I got
and
And
we're
it's
not
like-
talking about this. We're talking about this.
Oh, but you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so now you get these guys, you know, and then I've seen women interviewers doing the same thing. Hey, you want to be my step bro? And then some girls, you know, they'll go, yeah,
because I don't know.
no, and then the guy will go, no, can I be your step bro? And then he goes with a wink, and then she'll go, yeah, I've seen that a bunch,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean it's probably staged, but
Oh, probably.
What they're going to
But-
think of next?
I know that's what I'm saying. There's the evolution of society is amazing.
Wow.
I will never ask you to be my step bro.
I wouldn't want to be your step bro.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is like there things are rapidly changing. You know, like when we were kids or when you were a kid, Paul,
Yeah.
what was something that you remember that you did as a kid
Oh, sure.
that a lot of the kids did and was kind of like accepted? One
Pushed
of
a
the,
hoop on a stick.
huh?
Pushed a hoop with a stick down a dirt road.
Down a dirt road.
I can't
Let's go
remember.
hit some chert rocks.
Pavement hadn't been invented yet. Asphalt.
I can't remember anything.
That's a gravel road. Boy, they just built that thing. That's new technology.
Gravel. What's that?
Just a bunch of rocks. We just kicked those. We've kicked them all together. Now we got boom a road. One of the things we did in my it is we one of the things we would talk backwards.
Oh,
Everything was backwards words.
Yeah, like pig Latin.
Kind of, but different. You know, like everybody's names were said backwards, or whatever. So there was that. The other one was one of the big insults was freak show. Called somebody a freak show.
oh.
You know, that kind of thing. But that was really it.
No.
But talking backwards was one of the big things.
We're lucky we could talk forwards. No.
English language hadn't been invented yet.
Oh, by the way, Daryl says to you, Austin, you need to have a talk with me. You need to have a talk with Mike. LOL.
Oh.
which we did. We just, you're not my stepbro, so no.
Yeah.
No. ASMR radio.
No, I don't think so.
Where'd that come from?
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here. Piggy. So yeah, I don't know.
That was a good joke.
I haven't.
I don't know if I could say that joke,
I
though.
haven't seen any, but I'll have to pay attention to what you just said. But now I understand where it comes from.
Yep.
Laura says my husband and I went on a trip to Jamaica and rode the Bob Marley tour bus. Yeah, man. We saw where he grew up and where he's buried. The group of people we were with tried some of the local marijuana. The tour guide warned everyone not to take more than 2 hits if you don't normally smoke. One girl didn't listen and ended up passed out on the ground.
They grow different down there. They grow very different down there.
Wow.
Yeah, man, you do not understand what I just said.
Wow.
So yeah, I could, Laura, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. I told you, like I was younger. Here's my story with marijuana. I was 15 years old, and I was paranoid, of my mother smoking it and stuff. I was scared, so she said, here, I want you to try this with me. I don't want to. No, Michael, you will see. Have you ever seen me, acting? Whatever. No, okay, fine. So I did. So stereotypically, we get into the 1972 Volkswagen Bug.
Nice.
Okay. Nice. So I'm in the back seat, and the place is in it's just roasting in there, We went to the old Norwich Town Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Back when it was a mall.
Yep.
We go in. I couldn't even walk.
Oh.
I was so baked.
Wow.
I was. So we got into the mall and we were walking over towards like Puppy Love. Remember Puppy Love? And I was in between my mother and her partner Sharon, and they were literally holding me up. And we're walking through the mall, and then some lady comes up that apparently my mother worked with, and I knew, but I didn't know at the time. And that was kind of embarrassing. And then I got home. Then we walked around the mall, and I went, Mom, I can't do this. I gotta go home. I was out.
No.
I got home. All right, now we got home at like 5:00 in the afternoon. I immediately went to bed. I got up at 9:00 the next morning. I slept 14 hours. No, more like 16. Sorry.
And
that's when I had dreams that I was in the video game Cubert. Boing,
Yeah.
boing, 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 boing.
And the part of the story Mike isn't telling us is when he got home before he went to bed, he ate a whole jar of peanut butter.
Oh no, I could barely make it up the stairs. So that was my first experience. So if anything, I didn't like it. And the reason why is because even with alcohol, personally, I don't drink a lot. I hardly drink. Doc, when I went to have my procedure Monday, Doc said to me, well, how much do you drink? And I said, honestly? And the nurse walks through. The nurse goes, why, is it a lot? And I went, no. And she goes, well, how much? She goes, twice a week? I said, not even twice a month. And she was like, real? I said, yeah. And I think she was kind of shocked because the answers that she normally gets is in a different range. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. I just don't. And I went to a party. Well, actually, it was a stag party for my first marriage. And it was a big, huge house party. There was tons of people there, and it was a lot of fun. And I got seriously, I passed out on the floor, drunk, kind of thing. I didn't like it because I didn't like being out of control of me. So that was the lesson that I learned about that. So even now to this day, if I enjoy a cold beer like anybody else, but it
Yeah.
has to be under a certain circumstance. Like it's got to be if it's really cold and it's really hot out and humid. Sometimes there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
But myself, glass ice water tube,
Yeah.
will do the same thing.
Well, I was younger too. I would drink too, but I would get sick.
I never got
I
sick.
got I got
I got
sick.
tired.
I
And I
got
would,
sick.
yeah.
And I just got sick of keeping my head in a bowl. So
Yeah.
I don't. That's why I stopped doing it. I mean, I remember going to a party once in London, going by the Coast Guard Academy with my head out the window, puking
Yeah.
all over this guy's car. I mean, that's how bad it was.
This a couple weeks ago, too. Hey, Paul, what's up? What's your name? Ralph.
Yeah. I mean, I would just get sick, so that's why I stay away from it because.
Yeah, I didn't like being out of control of my person. You know,
Right.
that was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
So and still is.
Yeah.
And still is. I don't. There. I mean, if I'm really like Melissa knows, you know, if I don't think she's never seen me drunk.
Yeah.
And I think there's reasons for that, but
Yeah.
technically, which you probably know.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. I don't. Never got a taste for it. I guess.
Well, I don't really have a taste for beer. Never. I mean, I just for some reason never just got a taste. Beer just doesn't turn me on at all. I mean, I don't never had a taste for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy just said now, and now Cindy would know too because she's one of Melissa's best friends, and
Yeah.
and I say too, she's one of my best friends too. She's a wonderful person, and she said I only drink around people I have absolute trust in.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean I've seen Cindy drink, but I've never seen Cindy drink. You know, to oblivion. I don't. None of our or the group, you know, drinks.
Well, I
know,
think
to that point, but
I think because of the big to do now with drinking and driving, I think that has a lot to do with a lot of people not drinking as much as they used to.
I don't drink and drive.
No, I know
I
that.
do all my drinking and then I go driving.
Yeah, I know, but I think a lot of people now
It's a
have
joke,
woken
folks.
up to, drinking as much as they used to. Because years ago there was nothing. I mean, I remember driving home drunk.
Mhm.
I mean, I remember that years ago. I mean, this was way back.
So let's circle it back. Let's go back into the marijuana conversation again. And we kind of touched on it a little bit. How do you ticket that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if the dynamic and the high is a lot different, I mean, I would tend to say, and I'm only going to say this out of just guessing, that an alcohol high is a lot more debilitating than say a marijuana high.
I don't know the
Is that
difference.
true or
I
is
don't
that
know.
false? Okay.
I don't know.
So would a field sobriety test actually be able to show whether I am stoned or not?
I don't know the answer.
Because I'm thinking if I'm stoned and they tell me to walk a straight line, I'm walking a straight line, something I can't do if I was sober. And then I would pirouette at the end and end up with a little jazz hands dance because I'm loose.
Yeah. Maybe it's
But-
it's your persona around you. Maybe because you're acting happy and funny. Maybe that's how they tell.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or they just ask you like,
What if you have Austin's attitude? You're happy and funny anyway.
yeah,
Does that mean he's stoned? No.
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Burn. Know what I mean, burn?
They'll come up with something.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
they could just ask you cognitive questions.
They'll come up eventually with something.
Oh, absolutely, they always do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the
Say
high
the
one.
word here while stoned. Here.
Say the word onomatopoeia.
What?
I want to pee. There we go. Easy.
Yeah, you're stoned. You have the right to remain silent.
Exactly.
All right, it's going to wrap things up for us. I hope we made some conversation this morning that spurred some interest to you, and I really appreciate Paul can give a crap, but I appreciate all of the participation
Yeah.
and the people that make comments, and because this is why we do it, So
Yeah.
have a conversation with all of us. It's, believe me, I don't do this for my ego or anything. Could care less, I would rather talk with you instead of talking at you, and that's the evolution of radio, folks. So.
And it's nice though. It's definitely it's nice.
Gives us an opportunity to talk to new people, more people, and also hear a lot of contrasting views.
Yep.
On different subject matter. So we're really, it was really nice to hear a lot of different subjective conversation this morning. So
yeah.
Anyway,
and it lets us reach out to different communities, even if it's not one right here. It lets us reach out and talk.
If you have a subject or that you want discussed here on the show that we could all take part in, send me a message. Let me know what that subject is. And we'll try to do something about that, because I'm sure there's a lot of different things that we could talk about that we don't. Right. And let us know.
We stay away from a lot of politics stuff.
Yeah, because that can get kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about what's going on, but we don't really talk about.
I don't mind talking about politics. When it's just what happened in the news. You know what I mean? With a politician.
Right.
That's why I enjoy having Heather Summers on, because she talks about an issue, and this is it. And Heather's very, very good about that. Todd Babbitt's very good about that. Tom Sparkman, Kevin Cunningham, who was actually supposed to be our guest here this morning, but he had some issues come up that he had to take care of. So
he went to Massachusetts.
He went up to Massachusetts one last time, man. I don't have to come back. So anyway, have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much for participating. We certainly appreciate everything that you do to join in and have some fun. Have a good day, everybody.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A setback for Democrats in the U.S. Senate.
The motion is not agreed to.
Republicans thwarting Democrat attempts at a major rewrite of election and voting law across all 50 states.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer argued unsuccessfully for federal